Look, I like beer, okay? I like beer. Boys like beer, girls like beer, I like beer. I like beer.
Okay, so I asked if you drank in high school, and you said, I like beer 10 times. That leads me to the next question. Did you ever drink too many beers?
Some beverage. Welcome to your weekly program, BelAhdan, a show with an accent for those without one. We're all done with Kavanaugh's hearing. I think the circus is over. And that's another rape, almost a political rape, a mass rape in public that bring this guy, regardless of what the Democrats trying to do. We know this was a circus and a play, and eventually he's going to be confirmed, and it's happening. This is one way to show the American people that our system works, our broken system works. Kavanaugh is allegedly kind of accused of being a rapist, and now he's been nominated by a president that also was accused of being a rapist and grabbing women with private parts. So it's an amazing circus, a couple of weeks. I'm glad it is over and we get on with our life. So we're going to get on with our life. Today we're going to talk about immigrants again. We come from home, we leave our family, we leave our friends, we leave our streets and parks and whatever, and we come here to a new place. But we still have our memories. So what do immigrants bring without their memories? What are the things, the objects, the artifacts that they brings them here with them? You know, I'm sure everybody brings some bread. I think bread represents a lot of ethnic things, and every ethnic group have their own bread. But what they actually bring with them that reminds them of home, there is a project here in downtown Minneapolis by the Bank Stadium. There is a park called the Common Park, and where there is a project there that bring immigrants' memories. And here we have here the founder, the people behind this idea. We're going to talk to them about how did the idea started, what it means in the time of Trump, and what it means for immigrants to come and tell their own story. We have here on my left here, we have Zoe Chanel, and she is an event organizer, and she also a video maker, and she study art here. Next to her we have Sean Young. He is a photo documentary, and he is the one who really talk to the immigrants and kind of document their story through photo. So welcome to BelAhdan.
Thank you.
So welcome
Thank
to
you.
BelAhdan. You guys, thank you so much. Coming here on a Saturday, gray, ugly Saturday, so not missing that much. Glad you came here. So we'll start with usual. You know, you are originally from Germany, right?
No, from Italy. Sorry about that. Still Europe, we're free.
Well, Italy, everybody, you know, can't say anything bad about Italy. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful food, beautiful culture. So tell us a little bit about, you came here to study, and then how did you get involved with carry on home?
So I've known Shun, who started the Carry On Home photo project because of school, because we were classmates at MCAT, and I was invited to bring my object to his studio and be interviewed by Shun and Pang. Yeah, it was just such a lovely experience to be able.
So what did you bring?
I have this little tomato. It's like a wooden tomato.
The tomato will survive that much. You bring this tomato from
Yeah,
Italy?
it's like a toy. It's like a small toy.
Not an actual tomato.
No, no, it's just a small toy that my best friend gave to me, because tomato is very important for Italian food culture, and my parents have a garden, so I'm kind of spoiled of like having good tomatoes, and she gave it to me. Yeah.
Pizza, kind of. So, and what can you say about a tomato? So what was the conversation about?
The conversation was about my friends and the fact that this small object that I don't show to anybody because it's just like hanging in my room, you know?
Yeah.
There's no reason to show it to anybody. It's just there. It's like this symbol of like my friendships, and yeah, my friend organized.
So it's significant that you got it from somebody you know.
Yeah.
Well, I like that, and that's the whole idea of project, Sean. I mean, people bring some mundane things that people didn't think about, and then there is a story behind it. So you've been documenting those immigrants with their story. Can tell us some of the story they are, some of the things, artifacts they bring, and some of the stories that really resonates with you.
So one lady that she bought a silk blanket from China because it's difficult to look for that in the States. So she decided to bring that from China, and then it keeps her warm in the winter, and then it kind of keep her cold in the summer with the silk blanket.
Especially here, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also Peng brought over a fake diamond. It's like, yeah, a huge diamond, and it's supposedly to be a gift to the people in the state that he first met, and it's a paperweight, and then in the end he kept that for himself. Yeah, and I myself, I brought a monk figure given by my dad. My dad kind of says, oh, if you look at a monk figure, then you will think about home, and it will keep you safe outside your house. And
Really?
then, yeah.
Everybody should get one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like a religion thing. Yeah.
Well, tell us, how did the story, you were one of the founders, so how did the story come about?
So in year 2017, Peng and I thinking about making an art project about identity, and my work is always about immigrant experience, and then we think about, we can tell a story about immigrants and refugees and what they brought to the United States. So when the story is on live and spread outside to other immigrants and refugees, then people will think, oh, we are not actually alone. And the story also helped them to understand how we came to the United States and how we adapt our life in the United States. I mean, to both the immigrant, refugee, and also the people here. So to understand, first, for immigrant and refugee to understand they are not alone, and also to let people know their story about how they adapt their life.
We all have stories.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you're coming from, we all have a story. So, well, the idea is there, but how do you, this is like an interactive sculpture, huge, and that resemble kind of skeleton of a home, like a home without roof, right? Yeah. So what was the thinking about? It's like an open home of some sort?
Yeah. The design of the sculpture itself wants to welcome people. We thought about, what goes inside of a house and what goes outside of a house, and we wanted to kind of subvert this idea of public and private. Mm-hmm. So we have the garden inside of the home, and it reflects with this infinite mirror the photo project, so people can interact at the same time with photos, with their own image, and feel part of this community of immigrants, and with the garden itself. And outside we have a stage, which is probably the most welcoming part of the sculpture, because during the summer we hosted many events, and we had, I want to say more than 30 performers performing on the stage from different immigrants communities and communities in the Twin Cities that work with immigrants. So,
well, I mean, when we're talking about home, I mean, people have different idea of homes. I mean, in some area also home is open, and in some part of the world it's not home here. You get your backyard and you closed and kind of. I mean, even home here in the 40s and the 50s, there was a front yard where people are open, can sit down and talk to the people walking in the community. So it was a little bit open. Now everything going in the back, and that's your home, that's your backyard, that's your territory. But the idea of home, it's much bigger there and more inviting and welcoming. And when I went there, I saw like a lot of suitcases and a lot of messages. People leave notes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So the suitcases idea came from Peng, one of the co-founder, and he designed the sculpture, and then it symbolized the carry-on luggage or suitcases that we first came here that we carried, and then also our title is carry-on homes, so that's the reason why we choose a carry-on size suitcases for the wall. And as for the messages, because now the sculpture is for public, so we kind of change the question and ask to be more generic, not generic, more like open to all the public. Yeah, and then to ask them what they brought to Minnesota, and then how they survived the winter here. I mean, it's just like telling another story. Yeah.
So, I mean, the notes I was reading there was like notes from native people who live in Minnesota that are not immigrants, that they are helping with some tips about how you survive the winter.
Yes.
You have two questions there, right?
Yes.
I think one of the conversation that we had during the course of making this project and how it evolved was like, who is really an immigrant in this country, A lot of people are immigrants here, or they descend from immigrants.
Yeah, the only one native, huh?
Yeah, so it's like, I think it's a project that once people should relate to it and find their cultural heritage and find their position in the political climate too, and in this cultural climate of the U.S.
We keep saying that. I've been saying that for years. It's a country of immigrants, but still, we have the issue of immigrants doesn't go away. We have Trump and building walls but you are building homes. Yeah. So how the idea of Trump and time of Trump and Islamophobia and anti-immigrants and anti all of this, how does it emphasize, insinuating that the importance of the project that you have, the Carry On Home? Is this comes in your mind that this product is very important even now?
I mean, it's important all the time. It's like we are here to celebrate immigrant and refugee in the United States and tell their story. So it's always important, regardless of the time. Yeah.
And this sculpture or this project, is this permanent or gonna stay? Gonna go different places? Or?
So for this project, we actually win the Creative City Challenge by Minneapolis, and we are commissioned to build a sculpture. And after October 20th, we will take them down. And then because the material might not survive the winter, and then on next spring, then we will move it to St. Paul, and they're gonna have that for a year, and it's gonna be in St. Paul Ham Park. And after that, we will find another home for the structure, and of course
for the home.
Yeah,
Okay.
And of course, this project brought 4 immigrants and 1. How can I put that way? And also people that born in the United States together. So we are now in a group of 5, and we are gonna, even though the structure is not gonna last for a long time, but we are still gonna work together and make work about homes. Yeah.
That's home also is not. It's an idea. It's not a physical place, right?
Yes.
You can take it anywhere you want.
And we will keep making work about home and to celebrate immigrants and refugee.
You guys, this project or your group was winner of Creative City Challenge. What is this?
So the Creative City Challenge is a competition for artists and non-artists.
Who's doing the sponsored competition?
The city of Minneapolis.
Okay, that's what it says. And
and it's to create a public art sculpture at the Commons. It's a temporary grant, and it opened up for Northern Spark. That's what they did, I think, in the last 3 years. So during Northern Spark this year, we debuted our piece, and we had performances and workshop and people checking out the sculpture, and we were part of like a larger festival, which was really, you know, great to feel the support of the community. We don't know how many people were in the competition. We know for sure that there were other 2 people because we met the finalists, the other finalists.
Second, third, whatever.
Yeah.
So we actually have 5.
No, there were 3.
So
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah.
5,
Yeah.
it was more than 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was more than 1
For
for sure.
sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure about that.
And every year they have different team.
Yeah.
Like this year, the team is community,
Commonality.
commonality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year was something about the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global warming, I think.
Yeah. Global
Yeah.
warming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they change the title every year.
So you have theme of some sort, and you invite interest, and you talk about
Yeah,
Yep.
and
raise
like
awareness.
Yep.
yeah, I think Pang brought us the team together actually, thinking about this idea of commonality and how, like, as immigrants, we come to this country and we don't have our family, we don't have our community maybe,
Yeah.
and how can you find a community when you don't speak the same language, you don't have the same cultural background? And I think, at least speaking for myself, I kind of find a little like weird family with this project,
I see.
and I found my people, and
So
Let
we
my
ca-
people go. No, just kidding. That's it.
So it's all like, we are all Carry On Homes family. I mean, even in the opening, I met Malaysian that performed for the show, which is, I was like, oh,
Oh,
I
no.
recognize that accent.
I see.
That's my people.
That's where you were born. You know, that's
Yeah.
where you're from, right? This is a great idea. I mean, the idea of home is always very interesting. And what is home? You know, I've heard someone that home is a place where all your attempts to escape have failed, something like that, right? Just home, just sit down and just accept whatever is there. But thank you so much, Joel Chanel. She
Thank you.
came all the way from Italy to, you know, take part and found home, and have here Sean Young came all the way from Malaysia. It's a wonderful project. Carry On Home. It's in Common Park here in downtown Minneapolis. Go check it out and see what they have there. And I think it's going to be over in the end of October.
No.
we install it on the 20th of October.
Yeah.
So
And in spring, you can find it at M Park in St. Paul. It's going to be
all over the places every spring, and so check it out, and we'll see you next week. God bless you all.